Season 37, War number 10, and we are up against x5e. This time my team will be Omega Sentinel, Kitty Pryde and Human Torch. And the reason why I'm not using Tigra is, well, they banned her. So I'm taking Path 5 in Section 1, as well as that America Chavez and Kingpin, that Domino and Power Snack, Path 5 in Section 2, as well as that Killmonger, all the right side mini bosses, as well as that Doom boss. Apparently the Tiger ban was just to mess with me, as well as to make Kitty Pryde a not so good attacker. But as we'll see later in this video, Kitty doesn't need Tigra to be good. Starting up, we have this Nick Fury on the Ebb and Flow knockdown, and right back added nodes. I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde. Now, this is a pretty normal Nick Fury fight. The only difference here is that I don't have the Tiger synergy, so I won't be able to use the unblockable for my openings. But that's not really an issue. You don't need unblockable for openings, since you can just use Kitty's phasing to either bait heavy attacks without having to take any block damage, or just use the phasing for easy intercepts. To deal with the Ebb and Flow protection, I either go for parry heavies, or I bait a heavy attack and punish it with my heavy attack to knock him down. And just like usual, I am not using my special attacks here at all, because I don't wanna be left without any prowess when Nick Fury enters his second life. Sure, the fight takes longer this way, but it is very safe. Now that Nick Fury is in his second life, I need to chip him down so that I can finish him with a single special 3, and the best way to do that here would be to knock him down, to remove the protection, because that protection is lowering the damage he is dealing to himself, making him take a lot longer to drop down to that 30% mark. So to remove the protection, I bait a heavy attack and punish it with my heavy to knock him down. And now he's dropping down a lot faster than he was. I go ahead and hit him a few times to drop him lower, but then the protection comes back, meaning that I need to get another opening, knock him down, and then throw my special 3 to finish the fight. With the passive Fury and the protection down, this special 3 deals more than enough damage to finish him off. So yeah, Kitty is a strong attacker even without the Tiger synergy. The only difference here was that the fight took a little bit longer than it would have if I had Tigra with me. Next up we have a Scorpion on the Ebb and Flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde. Now the plan here is to basically just build up to my special 3 and nuke him down with that. Since his health pool is pretty low, a single special 3 should be enough to finish him off. As for why he is placed on this node, well, Scorpion likes to throw his heavy attacks, kind of like Mysterio and America Chavez. Not being able to punish his heavy attacks is pretty annoying and does make it a little bit more difficult to fight him, but you can still parry on this node just fine, so you can get your openings that way, or you can use Kitty Pryde's phasing to get those intercepts. Now I did mess up a little bit here, and I triggered his evade while I wasn't facing. That allowed the counterattack to actually hit me, and he could have followed up with a full combo, but luckily this time he didn't. Definitely got lucky there, but hey, I'll take it. The special 3 doesn't quite finish him off, but he is low enough that a single hit into my face is enough to drop him. Next up we have an America Chavez on the Ebb and Flow knockdown, right back at it, shared fight in section 1, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now, America Chavez on these Ebb and Flow nodes is usually a pretty fun fight with Kitty. The plan here is to just build up my prowess as much as I can, get to my special 2, then remove the protection and just let it rip. A single special 2 with the protection down should be enough to finish America Chavez on basically any of these Ebb and Flow nodes. She uses her special 1 here, and I go ahead and face the last hit of it to gain more prowess for my special 2 to make absolutely sure that she goes down. Next up we have a Kingpin on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Shock with Insult to Injury, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. I had to remove my Recoil Masteries because of the Insult to Injury node, and this is actually one of those fights that having the Tiger banned actually helped me, since during the shock phase I don't want to hit Kingpin directly. I can hit into his block to push him back so that I won't get cornered. Now the game plan here is to just build up my special 2, and with Kingpin trying to inflict Incinerate debuffs on me, that increases Pryde's prowess potency, so I can use big special 2s to finish the fight. I was hoping this first special 2 would finish him off. It doesn't quite reach because one of the hits didn't crit, but it did leave him at 1%, and the mutant power boosts gave me enough power to be able to drop a second special 2 straight after. I'd say Pryde with the White Magneto pre-fight is probably the best option for that fight. And then we have a Domino on the Power Snack node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel, starting with the heal block debuff mode active. Now, since Omega Sentinel is immune to Nullify, the Power Snack node doesn't do anything, and she's also immune to ability accuracy reductions from mutant champions, meaning that Domino won't be failing any of her abilities, which allows her to basically just ignore the critical failure that Domino would normally do. The only annoying thing Domino still has against Omega Sentinel is that evade while she is lucky, so you do have to watch out for that. As for the fight itself, there really isn't any special strategy going on. I'm just using basic attacks to take her down slowly but surely. Well, I guess not that slowly, because Omega Sentinel's attack rating is huge, the highest in the game. As for why I use the heal block debuff, well, the cowardice and tracking don't really do anything there, so the heal block was just to prevent willpower. Now, next up we have a Guardian on the Ebb and Flow Intercept node. I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel, starting with the heal block debuff mode active. Now, the reason why I'm using the heal block debuff here, well, Guardian is a conduit defender, and Omega Sentinel's second medium is an energy-based attack. So throwing it would normally give him conduit regen, but the heal block takes care of that. The game plan here is to just slowly take him down with basic attacks, and I'm gonna go for those intercepts to remove the protection whenever I get the opportunity to do so. The reason why I'm not using specials, well, Guardian can auto-block Special 1 and Special 2 if I don't have a way to remove that armor buff, which Omega Sentinel doesn't, so using those specials is not safe. As for why I'm not using the special 3 for the Incinerate, the Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Ebb and Flow Intercept nodes remove all debuffs on the opponent when the protection comes back up, so they wouldn't last that long anyways. Now looking back, I could have used the special 3 while the protection was still up, and then just not go for an intercept at all in the fight. I would have had reduced damage due to the protection, but the Incinerate debuffs would be able to take him down. I'm not really sure how useful that would have been considering Guardian's high energy resistance, but I guess that was an option as well. Even with just using basic attacks here, considering Omega Sentinel's high attack rating, this isn't really that long of a fight. Sure, there are much faster options, but Omega Sentinel still gets the job done just fine. Next up we have a Nova on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now this one didn't exactly go as I wanted it to go. The plan going in was to use my special 1 for the passive Incinerate to start building up my prowess potency, and then nuke him down with a single special 2. But then I remembered that my special 2 is unblockable, and Nova reduces the damage on unblockable attacks by a lot. So I had to switch the plan and go for a special 3 instead. On top of eating his special 1 there, I went ahead and threw my special 1 into his block. Really not playing this fight that well, but I'm still in it. Now with the Incinerate up, my prowess potency keeps climbing up, so the next thing I need to do is to build up my prowess as high as I can while building up power to my special 3. And also to not die in the process. I went ahead and used my special 3 here without baiting a special, because my prowess potency was slowly dropping. I was hoping the special 3 would have finished him off, but that was wishful thinking. Now I'm just standing there letting him hit into my face, but it wasn't quite enough to finish him off. Luckily he didn't turtle up and just hold on to his specials. Had he not allowed me to parry him there, it could have ended badly with a special 3. Next up we have another pretty common fight, a Killmonger on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge node, the shared fight, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now this one is a prime example of how this fight is supposed to go. I start the fight by baiting a heavy attack and then punishing it, that way he doesn't gain power from me parry stunning him, which means that I won't take any reverberation damage from hitting him. The reverb damage is based on his power meter at the start of activation, so with no power he deals no damage. Now the plan here is to build up my prowess as high as I can get it, get to my special 2, intercept to remove the protection, and then just nuke him down with that special 2. If everything goes to plan and most of the hits crit, he goes down very fast. Yeah, I finished with full HP and that was basically a perfect fight. And my special 2 only crit twice. But hey, that is what max recoil does with Kitty. Next up we have a King Groot on the Safeguard Miniboss node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel, starting with the heal block debuff mode active. Now, I'm sure everyone here has already seen me take this fight before, and the game plan, it's the exact same as before. I'm gonna go ahead and build up to my special 3, wait for the regeneration phase and go for the heal block debuff on King Groot, then drop my special 3 for the 6 incinerate debuffs, and then just going for full combos, finishing on a light attack to keep that heal block and the incinerate paused for the rest of the fight. And that is all there is to it. Everything has gone according to plan, pretty much perfectly up until this point. I got the heal block debuff up, I got the special 3, and now all I need to do is just keep them up for the rest of the fight. To avoid any risk of getting clipped at the end and losing HP, I went ahead and threw my special 2 into his block, since I knew that the incinerate debuffs would finish him off during my special animation. It's not really something you should do unless you're absolutely sure that the opponent will go down during the animation. If they don't, you can be sure that they will punish your special. Next up we have a Human Torch on the Stunning Reflection and Polka Dot Power mini-boss node. I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde. I really don't understand this placement, so if I'm missing something here, please do let me know in the comments. Anyways, the plan here is to just use Kitty and throw basic attacks. That's basically all there is to it. I can't really see any way to die to this fight unless you're straight up eating full combos or specials, and yeah, as long as you don't do that, there shouldn't be anything here that could go wrong. Now, as I say that, I did eat a special 1 there, so yeah, this didn't go exactly as well as I hoped it would go, but even then I'm not even close to dying. Human Torch just doesn't hit that hard, and Kitty Pryde is incinerate immune, so even if I do get clipped by something, or even if I block those specials to give him smolders, it doesn't hurt me. All it does is just give me more prowess potency, which, well, doesn't do anything since I can't use specials here. But yeah, there is absolutely nothing this Human Torch can do to Kitty. And yes, I know I suck at dexing his special 1. Noted, I will work on that. At least this is the last Kitty fight for this war, so I don't have to use potions. So yeah, an easy fight, but I still did very badly against it. Next up we have a Rintrah on the Brute Force mini-boss node, and this time I'm using Human Torch here. The reason why I'm not using Kitty like I normally do is because I don't have the Tiger Synergy here, and I had an extra team slot, so I figured that Human Torch would be a faster and a better option for this Rintrah. I did not remove my recoil masteries for this, so I still have the poison debuff on me, which does increase my damage output a lot, but it also ticks me down constantly, which is a little bit worrying. Now as for the game plan, well, it's basically the same as it is with Kitty. I'm constantly punishing his special 1s and heavy attacks with my own heavy attack to keep knocking him down. The only difference is that Human Torch has Nova Flames and those power stings take him down a lot faster. Now this is where this fight got a little bit scary. I think I thought I parried there, but I didn't. And I just dropped my block and got comboed. That could have ended badly. As for that special 2, I didn't feel comfortable trying to dex it, because, well, if I missed the dex I would have been dead. And now I'm getting uncomfortably close to dying here, and luckily I didn't. But from now on I'm probably gonna stick with taking Rintrahs with Kitty anyways. It was worth the test though. Then we have my final fight of the war. A Doctor Doom boss with Omega Sentinel, and I'm starting with the heal block debuff mode active. Now I used a small potion there to heal up to full so that I wouldn't start the fight with a regeneration buff on me. Since it is a buff, when it expires it would feed Mystic Dispersion, so that is why I decided to use a small potion there. The game plan here is essentially the same as against that King Groot earlier. I'm building up to my special 3, getting the heal block debuff up to deal with conduit regen, and then dropping the special 3 for those 6 incinerate debuffs. After that, all I need to do is just keep baiting Doctor Doom's special 1, doing full combos and finishing them with a light attack to keep the debuffs paused. And if I'm lucky, that is all I have to do for the rest of the fight. The fight itself is pretty easy, especially if the opponent has Mystic Dispersion level 5 or at least level 4. If they have a low level of MD, I don't recommend using Omega Sentinel, but even if they do have a low level or no MD at all, Omega Sentinel does still work. But if they do have Mystic Dispersion level 5, you can basically just bait special 1, punish it with a full combo, and that is enough to give Doctor Doom another bar of power, which you can then bait and punish the same way. The reason why Omega Sentinel is a great option for this is because her constant damage output that Doom can't really do anything against, and her immunity to nullify makes sure that Doctor Doom cannot inflict those shocks on you. Now the only sketchy part about this fight is that True Strike the boss node has, because that completely bypasses Omega Sentinel's armor ups. Normally Omega Sentinel is very tanky, but against the boss node she is a glass cannon. I would not recommend getting hit. Now, as you've probably noticed, I did drop my debuffs here, so I had to build up back to my special 3 and start the cycle over again. Not really an issue, but it is some time wasted. Now with everything set up again, all I need to do is just keep doing what I had been doing earlier, and just bait special, punish it, bait special, punish it, and as long as he keeps throwing the specials, that is the rest of the fight. One last special attack eaten this war. That was a lot of specials. Now he's so close to dropping that I decide to not bait a special, but instead just go for a full combo and throw my own special and let the Incinerate finish him off. And that is another deathless war. Unfortunately, I did die earlier this season, so it's not perfect. But anyways, we did end up winning the war pretty well actually, 17-3. X5e did not have a great war.